What's up, folks? It's your boy Bob Hollywood here with another review. This time I'm reviewing this Hasbro Star Wars Black Series DJ in his Canto Bight uniform. He was in two uniforms in that movie. The other one was an Imperial officer, not Imperial, First Order officer disguise, but we didn't get that figure. I would love it if we got that figure, just because I do like First Order officers and I like Imperial officers, whatnot. This guy I got from Five Below some time ago. Bought him for $5. He's one of the last ones I need to get out of this wave, and I just bought him because I wanted to get him. It's $5. I think Hasbro gives us great civilians in their Star Wars uniform. Like, his clothing, it doesn't scream I'm in outer space. It just screams I'm a civilian. I don't necessarily have superpowers. In the back, we get a write-up about DJ. It says, a thief who's tattered, threadbare clothes, and lackadaisical attitude conceal a sharp mind and expert code-breaking skills. DJ believes there's no difference between sides in this new galactic war. And on the right of the packaging, it's just his name. Again, with this is one of the older Star Wars boxes, and in that style, the characters' names would be in much larger letters, and it wouldn't be the whole name. But in the case of DJ, he has 2 letters in his name. You can get the whole name on there. On the left is just his number in the series, number 57. On the bottom, there's some legalese, barcode if you need it. The top is completely blank. Again, real quick, in his weight in the packaging, 7 ounces. So he's probably gonna be much smaller than that. He's probably gonna be less than half of that, or more than half of that, compared to some other figures, because Hasbro doesn't use a lot of packaging on the Star Wars figures. Anyway, guys, I'll be right back with this guy out of his prison. I'm back, folks. There's DJ outside of his plastic prison. As you can see, he weighs 3.7 ounces outside of the packaging, so it was a little over half. I think it was 7 ounces completely in the packaging. He comes with 2 accessories. He comes with this larger blaster. I don't know how Star Wars guns work, man, because like you got what looks like a scope here, and on the other side, what is that? Is that just like, I don't know, what would that do? But anyway, it's got a pretty long barrel. I like it. You can tell this is sci-fi. You can tell this is in space. It's like some Buck Rogers shit. And then he comes with this much smaller pistol. I think this is the same pistol that comes with, what's his name? Poe, in the same wave. I could be wrong, but I believe it is. And if it's not, I'm pretty sure it goes with someone. I don't know how accurate these are to screen. I think they're pretty accurate to screen, because why would Hasbro do that, you know? They like to reuse parts, but I don't think they stoop that low. And I lowered my camera because we're going to go over DJ. And it's easier for me to look at the figure if the camera's lower, because if the camera's up high, you're going to be looking at his toes or something, and I'm not going to realize it. Or it's going to be completely over his head. All right, we look at this face. It does not necessarily look like Benicio del Toro. He has a very distinct face. They could have done a little bit better. But with the technology they had at hand, it's not horrible. It gets the point across. He's a nice little 5 o'clock shadow. I can't remember if he had an actual beard in the film, but it looks like just more like a 5 o'clock shadow on the figure form. His hair's cool. It's got this little tuft in the front of his hat. Hat doesn't come off. It has some alien language. It looks decent. It looks kind of like a monkey. He's got this brown duster with some gold on the top. You can feel that. That's sculpted on. That's pretty cool. Just like you can feel the writing on his hat. Let me get the scale out of there so to stop focusing on that. He's got the gray shirt underneath the duster. And he's got green pants, a belt. You can put one of his weapons in his belt. Let's see which one it's designed for. It looks like it's going to be designed for the pistol, because the other one has that additional attachment. Yep, it's designed for this pistol. Doesn't want to close right now. I'm not going to waste time on it. And you see he has these shoulders that flare out on the jacket. It's all one piece attached to the shoulder part. It's just a darker brown. It looks like it's a darker brown than the rest of the coat. He's got his hands bandaged and a couple rings, or one hand is bandaged and a couple rings on that hand. And he's just got black boots. Shiny black boots. Did I forget anything? No. His belt. It looks like his belt is separate from his pants, but if you take it off, you would have to figure out another way to attach it. It does not detach, and then you'd also have a gap in between his crotch and his lower torso, or his torso, however you want to refer to it. Let's go over his articulation. It's not going to be a very long video. It's not much to go over. He looks decent. Like I said, the likeness is a little off, but the figure itself so far looks good. His head rotates 360 degrees. It is on a hinge, so it's going to be able to look down. It's a little stiff, but it looks down that much. Looks up that much. A little bit of attitude, not much. Arms go up a little less than 90 at the shoulder, and that's because of a combination of the jacket shoulder and then the excess shoulders there. It does not have a bicep swivel, and he has hinge and swivel elbows, which rotate 360 degrees. And then his hands rotate 360 degrees. And he also has hinges on both. So horizontal hinge on this left and horizontal on the right as well. Sometimes they give us a vertical. I don't know what Hasbro's reasoning is behind all that. His waist is on ball joint. Does not get very good movement though. No point even doing the forward and back, which he doesn't really get any. But he's also, no, I was gonna say he also has a swivel at the crotch, but he doesn't. Legs go out not very far. Part of it is because of the jacket. Part of it is just because they don't go out very far. Goes forward, not very much. Goes back, not really at all. He does have a double jointed knee, but because of his jacket, it's not going to come too much in the hand. He does not have a boot cut. He does have a thigh cut. Before I go too far, no boot cut. Forward facing pen for rocker, and it is on a swivel. So his articulation is limited, but I do like this guy. I'm not going to lie and say I don't like him. Not my favorite, but he looks good, and you're not going to get much out of him. It's not like he's a superhero or anything. Like I said, he's just a civilian. His height, about 6 1/4. Let's get some comparisons in here. Let's compare him first to Captain America and Duke. I think he scales well with them. He's just a little bit shorter than Duke. So it's like real proportions. Captain America's a little bit taller. I think that works. Let's compare him to some Fortnite figures. On his right is a McFarlane Fortnite figure, which is 7-inch scale. On his left, it is Jonesy, and he's actually taller than Jonesy. I'm not used to that. Like, Star Wars figures aren't that big. But he's taller than Jonesy, which is cool. Pretty neat. Let's compare him to Piccolo and Colonel Quaritch. Piccolo does not like to stand. He's also taller than Colonel Quaritch. So that's neat. I don't expect Star Wars Black Series figures to be tall. I say that all the time. He is next to some ladies that definitely make him look little, which is Zarya, one of my favorite figures, and Brie Bella. I do all these figure comparisons, but I never compare anything to a DC Multiverse figures, probably because the Mattel ones are obsolete in terms of what's coming out now, and I don't have any McFarlane ones yet, at least. I don't know if I'll ever get them. Some of them look good. I just never get them. And here he is next to John Jones and Finn. John Jones is taller than him. Finn is shorter than him. I'd have to look up the comparison, like, because then this is a real person. I'd have to look up his height compared to a John Jones, compared to a John Boyega, compared to a Brie Bella, who I know is way taller in figure form than she is in real life. And the Colonel Quaritch, that's a real person. But anyway, folks, there's this guy. Like, comment, subscribe. Type in your search bar Melodramatic Plastic, that's this channel. Type in your search bar Spitting Venom Radio, so you can hear me talk about a whole bunch of stuff that you just probably don't expect people to talk about, because I don't care what comes out of my mouth most of the time. And just always remember, action figures speak louder than words. I'll speak to you later.